Keller Williams Command brings the agent operating system and the consumer operating system together seamlessly.
Command organized everything for me and put it in one place.
When you have dominion over what you've got at your fingertips, it gives you the opportunity to grow. I was always moving between these different applications,
but none of them talk to one another. And as a result, there's lost clients, which means lost dollars.
A spreadsheet for my finances.
We had 7 or 8 different logins.
A spreadsheet for my showings reports, for my listings, my price adjustments.
It was a big time drain.
Our goal is nothing short of reinventing how people experience real estate through technology and making sure that you're the owner of that technology.
We wanted to build a platform that would connect Keller Williams agents all over the world. This technology was built by agents, directed for agents, and ultimately created to make your lives better.
We really took time with each one of the applets, getting to know how it could help us in our business, and Designs was huge because it eliminated that Canva expense. We templated what is our brand going to be, and now everything is branded, it's succinct, it takes seconds to create new listing, under contract, just closed.
We use the campaigns dashboard a lot. Within the campaigns dashboard, we can send direct mailers out to neighborhoods that we farm. You just choose like an area, or you can say 123 Main Street. We want like 250 mailers to go out for just 5-mile radius, or you choose a radius. We also use the campaigns dashboard to set up social media ads and pay-per-click ads to not only be in our hyper-local area, but also farm outside to gain more territory.
The way people are shopping for homes has changed. Everything is social, everything is on the phone. So if you can't be on the phone and them have direct access to you as their agent, you're losing. You can tell a real estate agent built this app, and that's what I appreciate. If they find a property within the app and they want to ask about it, it goes directly to you.
It's a really great way of being able to connect with your client if you're using the same platform together, and I can see what they're accessing, what's interesting them, when they're clicking on things, when they're opening things. So it helps me also be more efficient how I'm working with my clients.
With Smart Plans, I'm allowed to set it and forget it. I don't have to worry about clients falling through the cracks.
It keeps track of things that we wouldn't otherwise think of. My clients' home anniversaries, their birthdays, the things that build that feel-good relationship with your clients, it automates. And so it makes those touches so much easier to keep track of and to make happen.
So what's really neat about Opportunities is that it will track that lead and that business through the process, not just track it in terms of steps, but also the math behind it. Every step of the way, as I get closer to a closing, I'm starting to realize those dollars. And as someone that knows pretty much every CRM out there, I've never seen this before.
For me as a team leader, I use the Opportunities dashboard the most, just looking at the numbers and seeing where we are. Conversion rates,
Average commission, we're tracking what our sales price is.
GCI, probable income, potential income, all those things are things that I'm looking at, and then ways to lead generate, ways to get more listings, ways to get more business within the team.
I can make smart business decisions based on where are we going to spend more money, where are we going to cut back, and it's all right there in one spot.
So like Gary said, when you know the right numbers, hitting the mark becomes the entire focus of the team. And so for us, when we want to know our numbers, we look at the reports dashboard to make sure that we're on track.
I could see what's on my agents' dashboards, but then I could also see how they're interacting. I could see where they're winning. I could see where they're not winning, and I could coach specifically to what it is I'm seeing. If I see a number of appointments being set and a number of appointments being held, but no listings being taken, and I have a tool that exposes that deficiency, what should I be coaching or training around?
Command has simplified our lives on the back end of running a team with a lot of moving parts and pieces and human capital. It's allowed us to go to one place to get the answers that we're looking for in almost every single facet of our business.
The cost per lead is ridiculously low. If I was spending $3,000 before, I can spend like $150 or $200 now. It's been like 95 cents a lead on Command.
One of our CRMs, we were paying as much as $2,000 a month.
I could take the money I was spending on a CRM and I could support another family by hiring somebody full-time into our organization.
We were able to cut our expenses by 50%. So moving to Command was just like a no-brainer. We can save money if we go to a free platform versus paying for one or two, right?
We
we've leveraged the technology within Command and allowed for that to enhance our business.
From A to pay, it just simplified everything.
You could tell that this was made for agents by agents.
What Keller Williams Command does better than any other system out there is it keeps you relevant and it keeps you right in the middle of the transaction, and it doesn't let any detail slip by.
Real estate is about helping people with one of the most fundamental aspects of their lives, home. And you are the expert they turn to. And not just when someone buys or sells, but before, after, and all the little spaces in between. So it can be frustrating when you don't have the time or technology to know when someone needs your help. And when you miss that opportunity, it creates a gap that someone or something else can step into. So let's close that gap and give you the time and technology you need to build high-quality relationships with more people. Let's join forces and demand our technology not replace us, but help us be more human, more present, more everything. Let's take Command. Built exclusively by and for Keller Williams agents, Command is your do-it-all, do-it-quickly, people-centric, less stress, more time, end-to-end platform to grow your relationships, your pipeline, and your market share. Whew! Luckily, using it is a lot easier than explaining everything it does, but let's give it a try. Organize, customize, and sync all your contacts. Group them however you want. Know exactly who to reach out to, when, and about the things they really care about. Send personalized neighborhood-centric just-in-time marketing materials in a snap. Have more conversations, build more relationships, earn more business. Say, "Hey Kelly," and escape from your desk in the office. Add a new contact, log notes, and sync everything while on the go. Seamlessly and transparently source, send, and manage referrals through one of the world's largest and most profitable referral networks. Deploy an ROI-maximized ad campaign across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter in like 30 seconds. Integrate the systems and tools you already use every day. Automate paperwork and background tasks. Access real-time revenue projections, end-to-end ROI insights, and goal tracking to get a bird's eye view of your business. Have more conversations, build more relationships, earn more business. Command empowers you to be a better agent by giving you more time, more value, and more freedom. And best of all, it ensures you and your relationship with your clients remain at the heart of real estate, where you belong.
We don't get it right all the time. Nobody does. Sometimes we fail, but we fail forward. A couple years ago, we started reworking the Command app. We discovered that we had real AI all along. Agent intelligence. You told us what we did wrong, so we could work to make it right. And the only way to truly get it wrong is to give up. But we didn't give up. We hired the best to make the best. We kept building for you. We broke it down, we beefed it up. We went mobile, baby. And now that it's ready, we're not finished. Let our competitors say pencils down. It's not just about where we are, it's about where we're going. And we'll keep building the platform to go anywhere that you want to go. More time, more education, more contacts, more connections, more insights, more integrations, more on the go. More simple, more success, more results, more referrals. More leads, more listings, more leverage, more wealth. More human, more often. More MREA. We wrote the book on real estate, and now we've built the tech. A bigger and better network, so you could build yours. We transformed the technology from worry to works, from From bugs to business, from doubt to double down. This is where she who controls the lead controls the industry. Take control of your database. Take control of your leads. Take control of your money. Take back control and take command. This is now an app with a fiduciary interest, an app that makes your fight personal. This is an intuitive real estate machine that learns, corrects, improves, anticipates, just like entrepreneurs. Built for agents, by agents. This is pure Keller Williams, made not just to keep up with you, but make you faster. Take ground, take command. This is the place, and this is the technology, built for entrepreneurs to thrive. We did more than make it right. We made it us. Onward.
Whether you're a leader or agent, KW Command enables you to manage and grow your business through one powerful integrated platform.
A typical agent spends more than 60% of their time away from their desk. That means you have to be able to take your business wherever you go. The Command app makes it possible. When you are on the go, everything you need is right there on your phone.
You can access and manage your contacts, respond to new leads, prioritize daily tasks, and manage your opportunities, all within the Command app. Tasks are the backbone of your day. Within the Command app, you can easily add and manage tasks, then see a clear snapshot of what needs to get done when.
So your to-do list is always up to date and prioritized.
The Command app makes tracking contacts and leads easy. With built-in integrations for texting and calling, including Twilio and WhatsApp, you can effortlessly log a call or text, then instantly view it on your contact's timeline.
There is a reason Command Mobile has a 4.8 out of 5 rating in the App Store.
The Command app makes it easy to build, foster, and maintain relationships with your sphere of influence. You can assign a lead to a smart plan, add tags, and create notes, so you'll always remember what's important to your clients. You can manage your opportunities and always keep your pipeline updated. In-app and push notifications ensure you won't miss out on anything important.
Plus, the app makes it easy to manage read and unread notifications and to set reminders.
You'll always be in the know and ready for action whenever and wherever you get new info, like seeing who's requested a tour or who's inquiring about a property. Like we said, we're serious about helping you thrive.
With the Command app, everything you need is at your fingertips.
Command was created to help entrepreneurs like you thrive. Whether you're a market center leader or agent, KW Command enables you to run and grow your business through one powerful and integrated platform. We built Command around Gary's proven laws of lead generation. Build a database, feed it daily, and communicate with it systematically. It's all about being more human, more often, with more people. We want you to thrive in this market and capture your unfair share of every market. That's why we help you generate more leads for less. Using Command, you can upload your contacts and start a high-impact marketing campaign without spending a dime. You can run targeted ads across media channels, including Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, with just one login. In Command, you can create one-off listing campaigns or always-on recruitment programs with push-button ease. No marketing expertise required. You'll do in 9 minutes what used to take 9 hours. And at less than $3 a lead, you'll pay a fraction of what everyone else in the industry is paying. Save time, save money. Sold. Like we said, we're serious about helping you thrive. For streamlined lead gen, it's all right there. Friends, it's time for you to take command. Jason Abrams here. Everyone knows that I love to talk. It's a gift, but I also love to listen. We're having conversations with the best and the busiest. The biggest personalities making the biggest impact. The craziest and the coolest. It's about passion, strategy, and above all, it's about real, tangible success. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Podcast, available anywhere you get your podcasts.
you very much. We appreciate all the efforts. I know it's been flooded in the other areas, but still you're here to join us. However, we will guarantee that your time here will not be wasted.
The world is changing globally in terms of the real estate landscape. So
I think we can all agree that change has happened in countries and many industries, and usually the way that change happens is by leadership. Someone has a vision for things to be done a different way and to lead. Really, the mindsets of Keller Williams, I think, is what that leadership demonstrates, and then the agents are then able to model and follow.
The world wants to complicate everything, including our industry. But what I love that you really clarify for me is that this business is ultimately pretty simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. But if we put a person, a tool, or a system in place in our lead generation, person or tool or a system, or even all three in our lead follow-up, so it's systematic and it's always happening, then the ironic thing is that the service of your actual clients goes up. And then you know the business is coming because that's the engine.
In the past, I wasn't really purposeful much. I actually perform or do on a daily basis. But now, since I'm more purposeful, I know at what point be able to hit capper status.
So basically, you are now running a predictive business model.
Yes, that's correct.
Finding a real estate company that could back you up, it will be the most important decision that you would ever make in your entire life.
You don't feel that emotion, you don't feel that inspiration. It's not only that you feed your mind, but then after you finish that conference, you so fed your soul.
Leader is hard. This is what I learned. How can you help? It's not to get angry, it's not get emotion. It's just like you know your own mission and you know your goal. And we are just together equally to make it happen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
Good morning, John. I just arrived early this morning from Singapore, and thank you for that super dinner last week in KL.
Right. Andy was so hungry. Sorry, Andy was not hungry, but he ate 2 crabs. 2 full crabs. That's it.
Aside from the others. Aside from the
others. Yeah, he wasn't hungry, but he just ate 2 crabs. I know.
We had a very productive trip, and this is also a very good thing that I'd like to highlight with everybody who's here. No? The international connections that can be provided by Keller Williams. So again, the world is your market, and sometimes it's not enough to go to reach out to people online. It's not enough to advertise. It's not enough to just generate leads online, but to network with them and see them personally. So for the past 2 days, aside from KW Malaysia and also the other leaders of real estate in Malaysia, we moved to Singapore and met with the leaders of the estate agents associations, huh? SEAA, or the Singapore Estate Association, and the Institute of Estate Agents is already joining forces, right? Making them the largest association in Singapore. I think it will be the only association in Singapore, which will be like our IPO. And it takes a lot of humility and professionalism to do this, selflessness. And the government also is supporting this because it is more practical and easier to regulate one single body. So we met with the president and the CEO. And then, of course, KW Singapore, which was inspired or encouraged by and sponsored by Jonathan to get to establish a Keller Williams Singapore. And these are not people who need Keller Williams. These are people who's already I think they're the most prominent realtors in Singapore, right, John?
One of the most, yes.
One of the most prominent realtors in Singapore, and one of the biggest businesses in Singapore, and one of the most visible. But still they found the value of having the Keller Williams system and network and brand. Thank you very much for that, John.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I think it's important for us to understand that in order for the organization to succeed, we need to have top talent to come in and add value to the whole industry and the whole company, right? So that all of us could benefit from it.
Yeah, and we have a very nice topic today. And with the caption, with the heading that real estate success is not just about luck.
Right.
So I always tell the agents, if your sale came from luck, that's good, but do you think you'll get lucky again next month or the following month or the following month? But if your sale comes from a system, you did the system and then it was very successful, what do you have to do the following month? Just do the system all over again. And as you do it over and over, you become better and better and better. So that's what the system is for.
Right. Thank you for saying that. That someone mentioned to me a long time ago that luck is not a sign of success. Luck is not a sign of success. In fact, luck potentially might be an accident.
Correct,
or might
correct,
be
correct.
something that just happened, just so happened that it happens. But in order for us to have repeated luck, it's totally not possible. And I think today's topic, we're going to really talk a little bit about in our session 4 of this lead generation 3612.3, we're going to talk about how can we systematically build a database that help us to have a more predictable business, right? So Andy, I'm going to dive right in straight to the slides today because we have a lot to cover. And here we are. And it's the idea of leveraging on powerful database, but let's just answer the question, what really is a database, right? How can we think about our database? Because database is a very big word. A lot of people say, I've got database. Everyone has some level of database, right? But the heart of your business is your database, right? And the heartbeat of your business is your regular contact with your database. That's the key. So in order to have a database that it's really working well for you, you have to have a relationship and some sort of an interaction with your database in order for you to say that you have a working database, right? And this is something very, how do I say, I won't say challenging, but something very unique, because a lot of people don't think of database that way. They just think of a place where they're storing contacts, right? Which is true. So storing contacts is one of it. Recording contact information about your leads is important, right? But the other part is, are you tracking your interactions with them? Right? Once you understand how you track your interactions with them and how you're going to assign them to appropriate marketing plans. So today we're going to cover a little bit of this. I know it's a very big topic. We can't do all this in 1 hour, but the goal of this session is to help you get a gist of it and potentially start your journey in building a database. Because this is one of the most challenging things I see in real estate agent, that a big percentage of real estate professionals not only in Philippines, but in the world, struggle to build this because it requires a lot of discipline and it requires a lot of understanding, right? I'm going to go dive deep into it. Now, when you hear doctors or lawyers selling their practice, what are they really selling? They are basically selling their contact database and relationship they have built with people in it. So if you're selling a business like a clinic, a doctor's clinic, a specialist clinic, a dentist clinic, or a lawyer's practice selling their business, right? They're basically selling their contact database. So what I'm saying today is the value of your business is derived from the quality and the quantity of your database. Because if you have a quality and good quality and quantity database, you likely can sell that database for a very good price. That's the idea, right? Right. So what's the best type of database to use, right? And the answer is there's no best type. It's the one that you're using it actually right now systematically. There are many tools in the market, and today I will show you one of our tools. But before I go there, right, it's important for you to understand that have a database tool as basic as an Excel spreadsheet. Because if you don't have that and you only have your phone book, that's not a good way of putting database. So it could be real estate agents. I always see them saying that, this is a BGC owner, unit 7-01, owner Daniel, right? That's not a best way to look at database, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that later. So there are 4 laws of database. I know I talk about this a lot in all our trainings, but these 4 laws is something that we need to understand. Build a database, meaning keep on adding, build a database in a system, feed it every day. What does it mean by feeding it? It means you need to add excuse me, new database to it every single day. Have a goal of adding 5 to 10 database or contacts to it every day. Communicate with it in a systematic way. Do an 8x8 12 direct, how you communicate with it. And as they respond to you, service all the leads that come your way. The problem we see most real estate professionals today is they are sitting down waiting for things to happen. It's a very passive thing. So I'm encouraging anyone to think about your database as an active, as one of the key things that you do actively on a daily basis, right? So what does it mean by build a database? It's not just building a database is not just about business of servicing clients. It's the business of finding clients to service, right? Our business is not just the business of serving clients. It's the business of finding clients to serve. The goal of your business is to keep on looking for more clients so that you can service. We have a lot of times we adopt a stand where we want people to search for us rather than we search for people, right? Now, in this challenging market today, how many of you agree that we are in a very challenging market? If you agree we're in a very challenging market, please press 5. It's a challenging market. Only 1% agree. Okay, because some people agree with me. Okay, thank you. Thank you for agreeing. Right? The more challenging the market is, the more you have to go out there and look for our clients. You got to be more aggressive and active. Right? So that's the idea of our business. You got to put that perspective or that mindset in play. Right? And the truth is this, the size of your real estate business over time will be in direct proportion to the size and quality of your database. If you want to scale your business, you want to double up your business, you want to ask yourself, why last year I couldn't hit my goal this year? Why this year's goal I couldn't hit last year? Like, why I can't hit my goals every year? Well, likely you have an issue with your database, right? So don't think about yourself of being a better salesperson. Think of yourself as being a better business owner by structuring and managing your database better. Because the size of your database, real estate business over time, will be in direct proportion to the size and quality of your database. The bigger the database, the higher the quality of your database, the better your business will be. Right? Now, where does context came from? All contacts should lead to you, right? You've got many sources of context. The challenge is, are you collecting them in a systematic place, right? Do you store this context? Or are you only interested to talk to people that wants to buy today? right? A lot of times we have real estate professionals that just want to serve people that wants to buy today. This is a very, very bad habit. You've got to look for people and talk to as many people as you can in order to find someone that's ready to buy today. That's the goal, right? So the idea is to keep talking to more people, keep having more database in your system so that you will potentially have more leads coming in within your database, right? That's the idea of having a database. So there are categories in database. We talk a little bit about the lead generation model, right? The haven't met group and the met group, right? So some of the category in your database, you need to put it as some people that you have met and you have not met. Because the way you talk to people that you have met and the way you talk to people you have not met, very different. Very, very different. For example, the people that you have not met, they are general public, they are target group, people that you think potentially will be likely to be interested in the location that you're working on, but you don't really meet, you have not met them before, you don't know them, you are trying to build relationship with them. So those messaging potentially could be more general messaging about your track record, about your listings available, how for those people that you met, that you have met before, these are the people that you want to have more personal message with them, more personalized message, more specific messages, potentially inviting them to events because they're the people that you have met before. Giving them a birthday greeting because you have met them before. Wish them a happy home anniversary, right? When you sold the home to them 2 years ago, every year, the same date that they signed a contract or they move into the house, wish them a happy anniversary for your home, right? And I always say that, I like to tell them, every time when you wish someone a happy anniversary to their home, follow up by a message, by the way, for the right price, is your property available for sale? Right? So that's the kind of conversation you can have with people that you have met. So 2 key categories that you have to put in your database is those you have not met, but you know their target audience, and those that you have met based on where you have met them before. So all this data information have to be segmented in a way that will help you understand how to message to them, right? The goal is for METs is to get more referrals and repeat buyers. And those who have not met to become your new people that you have met, and potentially they may send referral to you as well because they see you so aggressively active in the market. A lot of times we underestimate all our communication out to people. We underestimate it because we think nobody is reading. It's just that they are not responding to what you have sent to them. Doesn't mean they have not read what you have sent to them. Right? Out of 1,000 people, they have sent out messages and sent out information to them of value. You never know that when that person is ready to pull the trigger or give a referral to you, he will, because he or she will see that you are potentially a very serious real estate professional. That's why you keep on sending out messages, keep on connecting with people. So those are the things that's important, the METs and haven't METs. How do you categorize them in your database, right? How large of your database would be? If you follow our training program, Ignite, which we'll be launching soon, the goal of Ignite is to make 10 new contacts every day. So I challenge everyone in this room here today, right, is how do you add 10 new contacts to your database on a daily basis? How do you reach out to so many people that 10 of them respond to you and you enter them into your database system? If you do that consecutively for 200 days, you will end up having 2,000 people that you have talked to. And out of these 2,000 people, I'm quite sure if your audience are the right target audience, you will get some business. Real estate is a contact sport. It's not a competition of who is the best idol. It's not a competition of who has the best video. You use the video to get contacts. You use your marketing materials to get contacts. Because if you look good but you cannot get contacts, that defeats the purpose of running whatever you're doing. So remember, real estate business, it's a contact sport. You've got to get that contact. If you add 10 new contacts each day into your database, you have 2,000 people in 200 working days. That's a lot of people. If you do that over 10 years, you have 20,000 people. Someone asked me, but isn't that too many people? Then I tell them, how big is the population of Philippines, Andy?
117 million.
How big is the Metro Manila area? How many population?
The whole thing, all the cities would be about 24.
24 million. You only got 20,000 guys if you do it in 10 years. If you double this up to 4,000 people in 1 year, you get 40,000. There's still a lot of people. And I think that 24 million population, and if you are looking at people that could potentially afford to buy multiple properties, Andy, is it safe to say 5% of the 24 million population are the people that potentially can buy multiple properties?
Yeah, it depends also on the price points or the type of property that you will be selling and in your area. But then, of course, at 20,000, you will definitely have business.
Right. So if 5% of 24 million people in Metro Manila would be about, so 10 is 120,000 people, right? 5% of the Metro, and these 5% of these 120,000 people likely are the top, assuming they're the top income earners, they're the people that has a lot of resources to buy multiple properties. Would you say it's fair to say that 5% of 24 million are like the cream de la cream of people that potentially will buy multiple properties?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the goal is this. If you have got those 5% in your database, 10% of that 5% in your database, your business will be very successful if you know how to systematically connect with them. So it's a numbers game, it's a formula. The path is in the math, right? So think about it that way in building a database, right? And classifying those that you have met, continuing to move people to your core advocates, because people that like you, want to do business with you, will keep on sending you referrals or allowing you to do multiple transactions with them, right? So that's the goal, right? To move them closer, right? Building your MET database, sources for your MET database, where are they, right? Your family, your friends, your neighbors, your home, your school, people that you do personal business with, people that play in Malaysia and Singapore and all over in Southeast Asia. I've seen. I assume Manila is picking up pickleball. So if you play pickleball, that's a potential opportunity to network and get more people, former employees, co-workers, suppliers, customers, anyone in your previous past, potentially that has certain amount of income, right? You would get a potential to do business with them. The goal is, are you building that database with the people that you have spoken to and met in your past life, right? In your current life, right? I'm sure if you are of certain age, right, in your 30s or 40s, you probably have more database than those people in the 20s, right? So think about where you stand and think about how can you put all these people in the system and systematically connect with them, right? Who knows your exercise? Who knows you? Okay, I'm going to ask yourself this question, right? Can you make a list of 10 people, right, that potentially can buy multiple properties from you right now on your database? Do you have 10 people? If you have 10 people, press 1. 10 people or more that potentially can buy multiple properties in your system, in your database. Do you have that? If you can, press 1. Someone say yes. Awesome. My question to you, when was the last time you sent them an opportunity and offered to look at something that is of good value? We are in a tough market. I believe there are a lot of listings that potentially have good value proposition right now. When was the last time you sent out proposals of potential investment opportunities or property opportunities to these people? When was the last time you did that? Now, if you just think about that, right, you need to have the top 10, top 20 people in your mind. When you see a listing that you know, this is potentially something that is of good value because of current situation that we are in, do you straight away think about all these people and market to them directly first, rather than putting up in the social media or putting it up on platforms or marketing platforms? Do you go direct to your database first? That's the idea, right? So think about your top 10, top 20, top 30 best owners or clients that you have. Are you sending them consistent opportunities that they will look at? Wow, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. to them. If you just do that, right? If you just do that simple exercise weekly, monthly, I guarantee you will get a response, because what you're doing is you're bringing good opportunities to them. So part of marketing to the database is very powerful. Before the property goes to the market, you're already talking to the key people in your system, right? That's the idea. Okay. Now feed it every day. Make 10 new contacts, enter 10 new people into your database, write 10 notes, preview 10 homes, right? How do you do this? Make 10 new contacts a day, meaning every single day, open up your database, put in new 10 contacts. Make 10 new contacts means connect with 10 new people in your database. Enter 10 new people into your database. So the first one is to connect with people that you have not connected before in your database. Speak to them, try to find out how you can set an appointment, show them some things, right? Enter 10 people into your database. Write 10 notes, means write 10 updates about what you have done with the people in your database. Preview 10 homes. Send them a preview of 10 properties that you have on a week to these people, to your database. Are you sending out your home opportunities or listings to your database every week? Right? How many of you, on a show of hands, if you can, press 3, how many of you send preview homes or information about your new listings to your database every week? Your entire database every week. How many? If you do that, please press 3. If you don't do it, please press 5. Let's see who are the brave souls. Some people don't do it. Okay, thank you for sharing. If you do it, press 3. If you don't do it, press 5. Right. So perhaps this is an opportunity for you to take charge, right? Is to go out there, send out 10 homes or send 10 of your property listings to your database every single week. Bomb them every single week, right? You might say, oh, some people may not like it. That's fine, right? Unsubscribe them. But there are a lot of people that don't mind, and there are a lot of people who want to know what's happening in the market, right? So that's very important. It's a critical thing, and it doesn't have to be a local people. It could be someone in the foreign country, right? That potentially might see the opportunity. So I challenge all of us to feed your database every day, right? Expanding your Met database. Where are you going to see people in your database? I'm going to talk so much about it. But what to feed your database? This is information. Number 1, their full name. Please have full name of your database in the system. Don't put John. Don't put J. I know in Philippines that you like to use a lot of acronyms. They always call me JL, ASM, right? Don't put that in your database. Put the full name, right? Don't put JL, ASM. It's very confusing, guys. Put the full name on your database, right? Their home address if possible. Their map, if their location of their property if possible, right? Their home phone number if possible. Their mobile phone number. Most important, their email address. Email address is very critical, right? Updating your database is an excuse to call your clients. Hi, Mr. Client. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to sell your property last time. By the way, I'm updating my database right now. Do you know what's your latest email? Could I have your latest email? Can I have your latest home address so that I can send out stuff to you when I have new things to send out to you? Those are opportunities to have conversation with your database on a daily basis, right? What to feed your database? How do you build relationship with your database? Get their urges, understand where they are, right? Get their spouse's name, their birthdays, their hobbies, their interests, right? A lot of times when you want to build a database, make sure you have the Ford formula of information inside your database. Because why is important? So that you can have conversations with them again in their database, right? So for example, get to know their family. In your database, you should have their wife's name, their kid's name, all inside there. What's their occupation, right? What's their recreation? What's their dream, right? So have all this information in your database, and I will share an example later how one of these database I have that I update to show you the sample of how does that look like, okay? Right. What to feed your database? Adding context, when to add contacts, updating contact information, contact history. What have you spoken to them before? What are your notes, right? So let me quickly share screen right now and show you an example of how I would manage that context. By the way, while I'm doing that, Andy, any feedback, any ahas, any questions, any thoughts?
Yeah, several very important about the building of database, because for a lot of us, database is just collecting business card or listings, or sometimes before I used to buy even listings. But if you do not work on your listings, and it just gets spoiled, and then it's going to be useless. Number two is your definition of database. The fault that most of us have is that we are only looking for people who wish to buy, who wants to buy today. So we think that, oh, it's not interested, then you forget about them, and not nurture. So I think the nurturing part is also very good, and I mean, keeping in touch with them. And keeping in touch with them does not mean you always send them for sale every day.
Right.
They want you to see and feel your value. One thing good is let them be on top of your mind, so that they will only think of Jonathan Lee and others.
That's right.
When they think of real estate or on my broker. Because right now, everyone knows a lot of brokers, but tell them, give me 5 names of brokers.
Right.
See, they always say, I all know a lot of brokers, but when you ask them for the names, they can only think of one. So make sure that you're that person.
Right. Right. Yeah. So over here, I have my CRM system now. It doesn't matter what CRM you're using right now, but this is the system that we use. It's called Command. And you can see here that I have when was this active, right? Now I'm just doing this as a simulation, so this is not an actual information. So therefore, whatever I'm sharing is just simulated, so that you can understand the concept. So for example, I click on Kelvin, and Kevin, I know I have the system helped me understand what's my contact health score, meaning it's properly tagged. This guy is a serious buyer, means he's willing to pull the trigger. So the way I think about serious buyer is they are willing to pull the trigger once they found the right property. So that's how I will categorize serious buyer. Always looking at low price property, meaning price below market, and his budget is around 10 million. Now, this is how I categorize and segment my database for this particular person. So whenever I look at serious buyers, I will pull up serious buyer, I will filter my system, and all the serious buyers will come out. And then when it comes out, I will just send them the necessary information or necessary listing that fits their category. So tagging your database is very important. Now, as you can see, I've got his mobile number, I've got his email address, right? I even added the neighborhood of where he is, where he stays, and what he's looking at, right? So this is something that I can do on my system, because then I remember, okay, actually he's staying in this area in Makati. These are the 4 places that he has property in, like, for example, right? Again, this is just a simulated thing. It's not a real data. This is a simulated data, right? He preferred to be contacted via text, his legal name. Now, I don't have his home address. I don't have his mailing address. I've got to find how can I get that, right? I even have his social media profile here, right? If I pull this up, I can go to his LinkedIn. So I know who he is. Right. By the way, Kevin, sorry, I'm just using you as an example. He's a friend of mine, by the way. But you get famous today, okay? He does corporate real estate. But anyway, yeah. So this is an example of how I need to put in more information, for example, his birthday, his description, his home anniversary. If he has any relationship with anyone else, I can link it with his spouse. If he has a spouse. Now, over this side, if you can see, I can find that I have all the activities done with him. He is checking out all my listings on my website. All right. He's been looking at some of my listings on my website. I understand where it comes in. When did I put in? I invited him to join a meeting, right? It's all synced into my Google Calendar. Anything that I do with this person's, that's linked to this person's email on my Google, will be synchronized into my command system, my contact system. So I know at what point in time, what email did I send him. I can trace it back from here, right? So the first email I sent to him was October 11, 2024, all the way until May 12, 2025, right? Where I updated his information. Now, this is where the way you think about your business is very important, because you are now able to understand where he is, where the database is, what they are doing, right? I can add activities, right? I can create new activities that I want to do with him, right? I can have, every time when I go on my mobile phone, if I call him from my app, I will be able to record that conversation notes to the system, right? So for example, if I make a phone call now through the app of command to him, once the phone call ends, it will prompt me to add in notes for this particular conversation, and I will just put that in and make a phone call with him. So all these things can be added onto a system. Now, whatever system you are running, I don't know what system you're running, but you need to have some sort of a system that can track, and so that when you go back to it, right, you can even add tasks, what you're supposed to do for him. Right? I want to create a task now. I'm going to create a task to say that I need to text him new listing in Makati, right? And the date due is tomorrow, right? Does not repeat. Or weekly on Tuesday, I need to send him new listings. I'm going to create this. Now it's a task inside here, right? I'm now systematically interacting with my database, and the system is helping me to remind me of my tasks. So once I did the task, I'm just going to take, yes, I've done the task, right? So this is an example of how we should use our database. How should we connect? How should we record our interaction with our database in a systematic format, so that we know when you tag it correctly, you know what listing you can send to them, you know what messages you can send to them, you know what kind of person that person is, right? And you know where to interact with him. Part of following up, guys, is interacting with your clients on their social media page. That is a way, a form of connecting with them, not only by sending them messages, but connecting with them on your social media page. There's one way to build that relationship as well. Today, we are so into social media that sometimes when we keep on liking their posts, keep on sharing their posts, they may remember us as well. It's a form of follow-up, guys, using social media. Okay, so I'm going to pause here. Any questions? Anyone got any questions so far? Anybody? Any thoughts? Andy, as I shared that just now.
I'll wait for the others. But then, it's what's this? The filling up of database. Like for me, like for me, my memory is like a goldfish already. So right. I forget a lot. That this tracker, this knows, oh, I met this guy from this event. And if you have your elevator pitch, if you have your usual elevator pitch, somehow you can design it in such a way that you'll be asking these people the same question that you would use to feed your database. So you know what they're doing, what you're doing, and just like the opening of let's say Jonathan, when he said even if a person's property is not in the market, remember what he said earlier? Oh, yeah. For the right price, would you want to sell your property? See, that's already a potential listing.
Right, right. And a lot of times, how do you respond to a client who says, I don't like to give email because people sending me marketing email and influence my email? Great question, Evangelita. Great question. And here's how I do it. You know what, Mr. Owner, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Tan, Mr. Lee, whatever the name of the guy is, you know what? I just wanted to send you a property market report. Would you be open to receive a property market report via email?
Okay. So guys, I just want to remind everyone, you see how fast Jonathan replies. It's because KW has a script training. Right. All these objections have already been asked by hundreds of agents before. That's why with KW you have a prepared script for everything. And as part of training, the KW agents have script practice, right?
That's right. Right. That's right. And many scripts, it could be, you know what? Information about the listing available in your area. Everyone wants to see that. Would you like to take a look at the most beautiful house that's trying to sell at the most highest price ever in the history of this market? Would you like to take a look at that? I will email it to you now. So when you come with contribution and come with wanting to add value, likely people would say no. Now, I don't have a script that will 100% convince someone to do whatever you want them to do. That doesn't exist. But the goal is, if you go out there and talk to 100 people, 10 may say no, but 90 may say yes. Or 30 may say no, 70 will say yes. Your goal is to get as many people as you can to say yes. That's it. Don't focus on how to convince every single one. That's just not practical, right? It's not all practical. Right. So let's keep going on to how do you communicate in a systematic way. I'll try to finish it by 10 a.m. today. Right. Now put your database to work. The beginning of the first 3 hours is to identify and prioritize your lead gen activities. Right. So think about doing all your lead gen activities in the first 3 hours of your day. Get more leads, get more new contacts. Don't think about the system. Don't think about using a tech to do this. Think about how can you talk to 10 people a day. Use that 3 hours to lead gen, right? And then at the end of the 3 hours, at the end of maybe you are doing 2.5 hours just to lead gen. Just update your after you finish all this lead gen. Right? Maybe the first 2.5 hours in your 3 hours is to do lead gen. The last 30 minutes of that 3 hours is just to update your database. And you put that habit systematically in your system. So update your database, tag all of them. At the end of your phone call, when you talk to so many people, oh, these people are all looking for undervalued properties, okay? Okay, great. Tag them, send them the information via your system to that particular database that you have just connected with. And that's how you want to update your database systematically. So put your database to work in a systematic fashion, and you have to create this habit. Don't think about talking to 1,000 people in one day. It's not possible. Don't think about how can I touch every single one in the fastest way. That's not the way. The goal is slow and easy. 10 people a day, 20 people a day. Do a 5-5-5, 10-10-10, 3-3-3, 2-2-2, whatever the number that you want to do. Do that in a systematic way when you are touching a certain amount bit by bit of your database. Right? There's a very famous saying in Malaysia. If you do it a little and a little, eventually it becomes a big mountain. Right? If you do it a little and a little, eventually it becomes a big mountain. So if you think about it that way, if you keep on laying one brick at a time, at the end of 200 days, you would have built a house. Because you do it one day at a time. That's the habit, right? That's the habit, right? Systematically touch them. Once you meet them, do this 8x8, 33 touches, 12 direct, every day to 10 or 12 or 20 people, right? If you can't do it systematically to a lot of people, do it to 10 or 20 people a day, right? You think about 8x8. 8x8 is to get new business or referral business. 33 touches are people that bought from you before to sustain the relationship. 12 direct is new people that you are trying to meet and trying to connect with. So for Haven't Met, do a Thrive Direct email, meaning 1 email per month in the next 12 months. Keep on sending them a message or email, 12 direct. But 8x8 is you already met them the next 8 weeks, send them 1 message per week or 1 email or 1 value proposition to them per week. 33 touches are people that you already met and have business with them already. Send them 33 touches so that they can always remember you for a longest period of time. National Association of Realtors for many, many years have mentioned that every time they do a survey to all the people that did transaction with an agent or a broker, they always ask the client, they make a sample of this client, how many of you would do another transaction with the agent that sold you the first transaction? Almost more than 80% of the people responded yes. Yes, we will do business with our same agent again. But in reality, when they ask agents, how many of these clients are repeated clients? The sad thing is only 15% of agents says that they have repeated clients. 15% of agents that went through the process with them. 80% of them were willing to do transactions with them, but a lot of them don't stay in relationship. That's why they don't remember you. Now, we thought that we have done a very good job. Yes, fantastic. Yes, we have sold something to that client. We did very good service. But because we didn't stay in connection with them, someone else came and connect with them. So have you met anyone before? I always ask this question, that you sold something to them the last 3 to 5 years. And one day you met them and say, oh, I just bought this, I just bought that. Have you met anyone like that before? You have this, press 1. And they didn't buy from you. Have you met that before? Have you had that before? Right? You probably have that, right? Yeah. Why? It's because we don't stay in relationship with them. Now, a systematic marketing way where we teach in the $1 Million Real Estate Agent is to talk about the 12 direct marketing per month. Send them your top 10 listings. Send them your website. Send them your link to your website, the link to your system, the link to your property that you have the top 10 sales. Every week, every month, send them something for people they have not met. For those who have met 8x8 cement relationships in 8 weeks, send them 8 good value propositions to them in 8 weeks. And then in 33 touches, maintain relationship over 1 year cycle. Every year you touch them 33 touch. Now, some people ask me, John, is that too many touches? You over touch your client. You're very touchy. I'm not very touchy. But it's just that you need to connect with them in a systematic way so that they remember you. What is an example of a 33 touches? A birthday, Christmas, Holy Week, happy election day. You guys just have election. Go out there and elect. Go out there and be safe and happy. So that going for election. That's one message. Go and look at their Instagram or their Facebook and click yes. Click you like them, comment on them. That's a touch. So 33 touches can come in various ways. So if you are interested, you can read the $1 Million Real Estate Agent book. They have a potential chapter and page just talking about how do you do the 33 touches. Create events, communicate and add people to your events. I don't see real estate agents in Philippines doing events for their client. They do events to sell property, but they don't do events to appreciate clients. When was the first time, have you ever done a dinner appreciation to all your clients before? Every year. Your top 10 clients or top 20 clients that did transaction with you that year, have you ever took them out for dinner, or have you invited them to an open house where you have a dinner there to serve them in their open house? Here's what I used to do. I always invite my top 20-30% of my clients to an open house where I will feed them and give them wine. Number 1, they get to see the open house. Number 2, they get to taste some wine and cheese, and they get connected with me again. So do that event. Like partner with a developer, go and do an open house somewhere and say, invite your top 20% of your clients to go in there and say, hey, I'm running a barbecue party here right now. I just want to appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to serve you in the past 12 months. So this is an appreciation. Now bring everyone in the room and create a party, and you keep on networking. You know what, by the way, bring a friend to the event. Don't bring a broker, but bring a friend. Brokers are not allowed. But friends are allowed, right? So do that, right? Do that kind of touch. That's also a hard touch. A soft touch is just a message, but a hard touch is a face-to-face lunch with your clients, dinner with your clients. So these are the touches that you should plan in your system. So if you don't have the right database tags in a systematic way, you won't be able to know who is who, right? Then you won't be able to prioritize who is who, right? The truth is all three have a common theme: overkill over time. Because no matter how frequent and systematic lead generation is emphasized, most real estate agents tend to underdo it. The truth is this: we think we are doing too much in communicating. The fact is we are under-communicating all the time, right? So you see a new agent that comes into the market, communicate nicer messages, they win that communication already. So the goal is to out-touch all other agents as much as you can, right? To connect with them as much as you can, to add value as much as you can, because it is a competition. No doubt about it. It is a competition. The person's mind, so that's like what Andy says. Can you name me 3 brokers that you talk to all the time? Most people can't. Most people can't. Right? Because no one spoke to them. No one connected with them. So in order to have market share, you must have mind share. You must earn the right to be in the minds of your clients by keep on connecting and communicating with them in a systematic way. This is a proven scientific outcome that the $1 Million Real Estate Agent in the chat box have actually did. The research showed that successful agents outtouch all other agents. That's what they do. They outtouch them. The benefit of systemization is consistency, is predefined, is repeatable, is automatic. So if you go into our system, you can create smart plans automatically on our system. It's automatic. The goal is to be consistent. It's not to be perfect. Now, I always like to say that speed is your friend, perfection is your enemy. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect before you can send out to people, you're too slow. The market has changed. There are new things coming into the market right now. There are new things happening in the market. I remember when the tax laws was kind of pulled back, right? Andy immediately come in and say, hey, let's change, let's send out information to people and talk to people about it. It's immediate. So information changes all the time, right? I got an agent that I know of. He talked to, the way he connects with all his foreign clients, he's very smart. You know what he does? He just update the US dollar versus ringgit Malaysia rates every week to them. He said, you didn't buy something in Malaysia last week because you know why? The ringgit appreciated over the US dollars by 3%. You could have gained 3% if you bought in last week. That's what he does to all his foreign clients consistently. Just updating the US dollar versus ringgit Malaysia currency value. And that's smart because you give people a perspective that, oh, yeah, I think the ringgit is now getting stronger. Maybe it's time for us to take our US dollar. Maybe it's time for us to buy into the ringgit because it's stronger, for example. And whenever the US dollars increase or appreciate against the ringgit, he'll always say, hey, you better buy now because your US dollar can buy more ringgit right now. Right? So it's how you use those information to communicate and create value so that you keep on being consistent with your clients. Okay, we are already coming to the end of the hour. I want to stop here and pause here. How many of you are learning something today? If you're learning something, please press 3. What are some of your ahas if you've gotten today? Any ahas you have? Put in the chat box. Luck is not a sign of success. Absolutely, yes. Any ahas? Anything to add, Andy?
Okay. On the last part, I think one of the reasons why, by the way, I think very, very few people, even I on a personal capacity, don't do that hosting of dinners to the top clients, and that's going to be a very good activity. But you see, I think most of us do not do this contacts, one because of lack of information to share. They think that it's only about for sale. A simple one would be the one that you said about the exchange rate. But you can find very good information to share maybe from this site, the one that I shared. Number two, lack of resources to host. Oh, I don't have money to host the kind of meals that Jonathan serves to everyone, like the crab or what. So another thing is lack of occasions to invite. Maybe you don't have your own location to host, or maybe you don't have your own open house, but you can find occasions where you can invite them. If you really think that it is a very worthwhile occasion or event, invite them. Nothing to lose. Maybe none of them would be interested, but then you were able to contact them. The objective is to to contact them, to touch them. So with this one, we can provide you with opportunities. No, if you don't have events, if you don't have resources, we can share some with you. Like for example, the 66 here or the 72 here. You can invite them to a grand open house, let's say on Sunday, of a fantastic project in Tagaytay called IOU. And then imagine if 20% of you, or 20% of the 10 people that you will be inviting will be going there, will be closing about 30 units.
That's
and
right.
We'll be helping you with that one. If
That's
you can
right.
invite them there, we can invite them for dinner. So think of how you can be in front of your clients, either through their phones or face-to-face.
Yeah. I want to share a last story before we close. I remember one agent in Malaysia when we were launching an office building. Everybody now office building, it's not something that everyone is chasing after to buy. But we just sit down and did an exercise with a group of agents, and I said this is a high investment grade market property. You need to think about who is your high net worth. And I educated them in 10 minutes to tell them what does a high net worth look like in Malaysia. This is the potential income. And they start thinking about their database. Oh yeah, I think I got 10 people in my database that is this high net worth. And then you just invite them, because this is a 30% below market value proposition. So everyone invited as many people. I think out of the 20 agents that were in the exercise, we invited about 100 over people to come to that particular event. And guess what? One agent had only 2 invitees to come. Right, but that one of a client, I will remember this for the rest of my life. One of the client came, bought a whole floor of office instead of 1 unit. Everybody was selling single units, but she got one client that decided to buy the whole floor because he was in the market looking for a huge floor plate for his office. Now, you and I don't know what's going on in the hearts and minds of the people in our database. All she did was just inviting that person to the event, and the person found that this is something suitable, he bought it. So the moral of the story I learned is that if you just think about creating that connection and offering that opportunity to as many people as you can, something will happen. Just like what Andy said, if you just invite 30 people to Tagaytay, to his place, I'm sure he has a way to charm you all with his property and his hairstyle. Everybody will be charmed, and somehow they will buy something from you. Because the idea is this. The idea is to have that conversation and bring your database, interact with your database as much as you can in a high intensity. And something is going to happen to bring the business. So you and I today, all of us have the power to activate our business today, despite of the market situation, despite of the market challenges. I hope this has bring a good clarity of what you can do, right? Before we go to the last thoughts, Andy, I have some announcement. Hannah, can you put up the announcement for me, please? Right. Now, if you like what you hear today, you like what you see today, you are interested to learn more about us, about the training programs that we have, please scan the QR code. I'm going to leave the QR code here for a while so that you can scan the QR code and find out more information. Or you can call up to Miss Ivy. Is a very nice young lady, pleasant person that will potentially serve you well if you ask her any questions, right? So before we close, any last thoughts about this today?
Very important. You see, again, just like what we always say, real estate is very simple, but not easy. You see, simple. Every day, just put 10. It sounds very simple. It's not easy, but it only takes practice. And remember, success is a result of habits. So if you develop that habit of feeding your database every day, 10, I don't think. Again, it sounds easy. It sounds simple. Then maybe it will take you 15 minutes a day. Not easy, but practice. Just practice. Even I would have to start doing that.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. So I just echo what Andy is saying, guys. you have power to control what you want to achieve in your business. There are certain things you can't control, and we understand that. Andy is doing that right now. He's sending out information about his property right to everyone here. So, and it's beautiful. He hasn't brought me there yet, Andy. You need to bring me there one day. You need to bring me there and do your barbecue there one day.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm jealous of everyone that have been there. I've not been there yet. So you got to bring me there one day, okay? So what I'm saying to everyone is you have the power to create your own destiny by taking action. Today, you have that power. Now, I hope after today, you have been charged up for this week to start this behavior or to upgrade your habits so that you can be successful. Right? With that, thank you so much, Andy. Thank you so much, everyone, for a great session. We'll see you next week again. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.